Good evening folks, welcome back to another episode. It's been over a month since I've hit the shingle, but tonight is the night that I'm down, back on the beach, and we're back fishing bait. Feels like it's been an absolute lifetime and I'm absolutely roaring to go. Down with George tonight and Cliff, two of my good friends, and we're going to have a fish and see what happens. Right, so baits wise tonight, we got some proper manky old razor fish there, some gaper clams, Pacific clams, however you want to call them. Some worms, I've got some squid, and I've got some prawns. The rigs I'm going to be using tonight are Pennell rigs, just on straight worm, and I'm going to be using some Wessex rigs as well, using the worm on the top hook with a slightly bigger hook on the bottom, and then we'll put some fish bait on the bottom. Right, so here's my Wessex rig. I've got a small size 2 hook on the top. I'm just going to put some worm on the top hook, nice and simple. There we go. On the bottom hook, I've got a slightly bigger hook, which is a 5/0 there, and I'm going to use a nice big bit of squid to whack on the bottom. If I can get one out. There we go. Might use 2 wrapped together, because they're all bits and pieces. Alright, find my cotton. It's up here. Just going to cotton the 2 bits of squid together, and then we'll add it onto the hook. I'm going to fish 2 rods tonight. One rod will be on the lugworm, straight lugworm, just cast out as far as I can get it, and then on this rig here we're going to cut it in a little bit shorter and see if we can pick off some other different fish. With this rig here I'm predominantly going to be going for things like dogfish on the bigger hook that'll be about this time of year, maybe a bass on the larger hook as well. With the top hook, anything that might be around. I mean, you possibly at this time of year will now start getting whiting. There might be a couple of poutins around, and some flatfish as well. Sole, there's been some good reports of sole over the last couple of weeks, so might even be a good idea adding a split shot onto the top hook to pin that to the bottom of the seabed there. But we'll give it a go and see what happens. Making sure that hook point's nice and secure, which it is. I'm going to tie the bait elastic off like that, and that'll be our bait on the bottom hook. Happy days. Right, so both rods out. Left hand rod tonight has got the lug Pennell rig on. The right hand side has got the Wessex rig on. So larger bait on the bottom, smaller worm bait on the top. George is down there just baiting up his rig. Right, George? All good, mate? Then Cliff is over here. Hello, Cliff, you alright?
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
Alright, all good.
So we're all out on the beach. The weather's pretty good, to be fair. I mean, there was a rain shower today. It's looking like it's going to be a clear evening, hopefully. And all we need now is the fish to come out and play ball. Started having a couple of bites on my left hand rod when I throw it out first, which has come to nothing. So now we're just waiting to see if there's any more fish out there that want to show an interest in the bait that we got. Right then, so Cliff has got first blood with a Dover sole.
Lovely sole, yeah.
Nice one, Cliff.
Cheers.
Well done, mate. Right, so just to add my first fish, it's twisted my rig up a good, and as you can see, on the squid, there was a little strap eel, but it jumped off in the waves. So there we go. Nice tangled up rig. I think I'm going to cut the larger hook off the bottom and put a smaller hook on, and see how we get on with that. Right folks, not much is happening at the minute. We've hit kind of like the quiet period. The tide is fast ebbing out. It's about 3 hours down the tide now. So far all we've got to show for it is cliff sole and the eel that I lost, which was only about that big, very small conger, strap conger. I'm fishing the small hooks, the small baits. I've added a little bit of split shot to the snoods as well, just to pin them to the deck, try and go for a sole, and we'll see if that plays out favourable for us. Right, not much is happening down on the fish in front. So I'm just back up at the it snug. Just tying on some snoods to a 2-hook flapper. Just to make up a couple more rigs, because I stupidly thought I had enough, but it turns out I didn't. So I'm going to go really small size 4 hooks now, just really scratching around. I don't know if there's going to be many fish about.
Alright, bro?
Yeah man, just tying up some rigs. Just going to go really small hooks, so just to scratch around and see if we can find any kind of fish. Been messing around with different baits, been using worm and squid, and we're onto razors now. Play around using some razor fish. Got some Pacific clams to use as well. Let's see how we get on with this rig. So we're all out now for scratching. Try and scratch around and see if there's any small species about using this rig. And I shall keep you posted. There he is then. Another sole for Cliff. They're not massive, are they? But a sole's a sole.
No, slightly bigger, I think.
You're on target, mate. You're doing better.
Yeah.
Better than us lot over the other side.
It's a tough old night.
What's the secret, mate?
Size 6 hook.
I think I might come the other side of you. There's my bait board. There's all the razors I've used so far. It's been a hard session, I won't lie to you. It's been a hard session. Cliff the man pulling out all the stops over the other side, grabbing a couple of sole. Not a sniff over this side. There's a couple of worms there on the other rig. Some worms there on small size 4 hooks. A little bit of split shot at the top. Will we bag a fish? That is the question. Will we bag a fish?
The fish gods will decide.
Here he is then, back at it. This time with a nice decent size sole, that mate. Look at that.
That's a lovely size.
That's a big fish. What's the secret, Cliff? Or should I say James Brown? Look at that.
I'm a sole man.
Look at that, man. You got sole. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. That's it now. I'm definitely coming over your side, I think.
Yep. Do that.
Right, and so George just missed an absolutely incredible rattling bite. I think it was personally a bass, but there's still time. There's still time. Me, on the other hand, a small place. Out of all the fish I can catch this evening, not the target species I was looking for, but we'll take it. Happy to land a fish after a very difficult night. The heavens have opened and George has caught a dogfish on the old squid. Well done, George. Nice one, mate.
What are you saying about?
There we go. Nice bass there for George. Fishing in close on the squid, mate. Cracking. Nice one. Turned out to be an alright night. After hard work. Well done, mate. Right then, folks, that is it for another week's session. Full of ups and downs, rain, and a few fish here and there. Myself personally, really struggled tonight, man. It was a hard one. Definitely a nice welcome back into sea fishing, or shore fishing, should I say. Myself just finding the one lone place. I did lose a conger trying to get it in, just fell off the hook, which was a bit unfortunate. Cliff, aka Mr. James Brown, the sole man, picked up a couple of sole, which was nice to see, and then during the end George picked up a dogfish, and there was a nice bass as well. So a mixture of fish coming in for the three of us, and it was a good fun session spent with some mates. Yes, I really enjoyed this one. Although the fish weren't playing ball for myself, it was nice to share the experience with the other guys. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.